Close your eyes and picture a watch. Don't worry about the brand or cost. How do you see a watch in your mind's eye? Like many, you probably imagined a timepiece with centered hands and a crown on the right, because this is what we see every day. And it's true, wristwatches do tend to have a few basic design aspects in common. Classic shapes with an array of buttons neatly arranged along the side to activate specific functions. However, around the 1960s, watch companies started taking part in the design revolution, attempting to reimagine the watches of their fathers with new bold ways to enhance functionality and to stand out from the rest. Some of the most exciting innovations to come out of this era are the so-called Bullhead designs. They are categorised by a crown mounted at the centre top of the case and two pushers or horns on either side, thus resembling a bull's head. This is such an iconic design to see on any wrist, and perhaps none more so than Brad Pitt's. Quentin Tarantino's recent film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, had the actor sport a bullhead watch. And it wasn't just watch enthusiasts who noticed the unusual timepiece prominently featured throughout the movie. How exciting would it be if renowned German watch manufacturer Sinn took its considerable expertise in case design and manufacture to create a bullhead watch with a functional heart? Well people, that's exactly what we have for you today. So let's charge ahead with the review. Sinn's R500 is not just a well-planned tool watch. It's also a thoughtful exploration of design and practicality. This watch is designed for application and use in car racing tournaments, when split-second recording is paramount. Everything about the R500 has been conceived to assist its wearer obtain key timing information as quickly as possible. The titanium case is lightweight, sturdy and wears well. The slight case angle that slopes downward towards the 6 o'clock position is no accident. This narrowing is intended to minimise wrist movement when recording times during a race. This is a handy feature that detracts nothing from the overall wearability or aesthetic, but offers a little something extra in terms of functionality and purpose. Enhancing functionality is also the rationale behind the unusual positioning of the crown and pushers. By setting all controls at the top of the watch, they become easy to manipulate with gloves on, and allow access during time trials without obscuring the dial or the information it provides. In this sense, the dial has also been afforded a similar functional design undertone with the clever use of colour to delineate specific regions of information, such as the light subdial counters and red and green power gauge at 12 o'clock. In this way, each reading can be quickly placed and recorded during trial conditions. The hour and minute hands and all the applied indices have a good amount of lume, and the top arrow section of the centre second hand is bright red against the darker bezel, offering a good legibility and adequate differentiation. You'll note that the tachymeter scale is also removed from the central section of the dial for clarity, as this information can often be lost in a complicated chronograph. Another clever design decision by Sinn is to incorporate the date window into the small second subdial. By placing this secondary information in a less obvious location, the R500 dial retains both functionality and symmetry. In our opinion, Sinn has put their vast experience of tool watches to good use in this dial design. The engine inside this watch is a tried and tested Valjoux 7750, tuned to Sinn's in-house quality specs, which we all know are more than top-notch. But with this style of complicated timepiece and bullhead design, there will always be a case height trade-off. So let's talk case thickness. To assess this piece correctly, you need to remember that you are basically wearing a stopwatch on your wrist. Sinn has played with this concept to deliver the best possible results by tweaking two things: the case slant, which falls from 16mm at 12 o'clock to 13mm at 6, and the use of lightweight titanium. Both aspects may seem like small measures, but together when you put the R500 on your wrist, they amount to a good overall saving of weight and dimension, Plus, the slant does bring something in terms of legibility and reflection reduction. On paper this sounds logical. Nevertheless, we were a little sceptical up front, but on the wrist it comes together quite nicely, making the R500 a usable solution within this group of tool watches. The last trick Sinn pulled out of that technical hat is the integrated band which screws directly into the case. This setup always helps a larger watch appear smaller, which is great for those of us with slimmer wrists. Additionally, there is something decidedly retro and appealing about this sleek finish. Turning the watch over, we are greeted by the same satin finished titanium on the case front. Here you can see how the screw-in case back holds the strap securely fastened, and despite the unusual case design, we still get the low pressure resistance and 200 meters water resistance. There are no compromises, which is exactly why fans love Sinn watches so much. Let's assume you've already fallen in love with this design, much like we have. Then we recommend you move quickly to secure one. This is a limited run of 300 pieces, and we have one of them here at time only. Watch collecting is an intriguing pastime, and the more you become involved, the more you realise how important it is to strike fast when you see that special model that may otherwise slip away. It's always a pleasure reviewing a Sinn watch for you, and the R500 is truly a unique piece, even within Sinn's collection. We genuinely like the way Sinn has brought together years of experience in case manufacture and watch design with this model, and can see it becoming a coveted piece in years to come. Will you be one of the lucky 300 to own one? Thanks for your time and see you again soon.
Time only, the authorised Sinn dealer.